These are weird times we're living in, guys. There are no movies coming out, and it's easy for this situation to affect our mental health. And I know that one thing that helps me is having my dog around, Molly. I truly believe that the bond between human beings and dogs is a special one. And Molly has returned to the channel, and she's here today because we're going to review Call of the Wild. So say hi, Molly. She says hi. She's a little lazy today, that's why she's in her pajamas, so I'm going to let her sleep and we'll get to this review. Welcome back to the world of Corona, everybody. Call of the Wild is one of several movies available on cinema on demand, depending on your platform of choice, whether it's Prime Video or Fandango Now or whatever you want to use. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I am a sucker for dog movies, and that's probably because I am a dog owner. So even though I realize Call of the Wild is not some cinematic masterpiece, I still enjoyed it for what it was, and that is a story about a dog and his relationship with human beings. This is technically a movie from Walt Disney Studios. That being said, that wasn't the draw for me. The draw for me was that, well, it had Harrison Ford and a dog. And Harrison Ford is a guy who very much looks fed up and annoyed with things, and maybe the one thing that can bring him peace is the companionship of a dog. So I kind of related to him on that level a little bit. And I gotta say, the movie didn't let me down. This movie is very heartwarming and touching for anybody who owns a dog or loves dogs in general. I gotta say, while it may not be an example of great filmmaking, Call of the Wild is a very, very effective movie in terms of being an emotional story about a dog, especially with the way that the film tracks Buck's certain owners. He goes through several owners, and at times this movie's gonna break your heart, because it definitely broke mine. I was sad for a majority of the movie, if I'm being honest, but I gotta say, once he became a mail dog and he helped Omar Sy's character deliver the mail, that's when things started to be a little bit more optimistic for Buck. And because I do love dogs, I gotta say, at that point, that's when I was in. And, it was just so charming, and it's just hard not to get into the sentiment of a dog being happy and thriving and being loved by his owner, and his owner believing in him. It's just such a beautiful, inspiring little story. And really, I gotta say, the fact that this movie made delivering mail exciting, that is the power of cinematic storytelling right there. The power of making you care, the power of making you feel invested in the characters and the world of the movie that you're watching. So even though it's not going to be winning any Academy Awards, the Call of the Wild still showcases the power of the format of cinema, and I respect that. I appreciate it. That said, all of the characters in this movie, the human characters, are pretty one-dimensional. I can't really think of anybody that stood out to me. I know that Dan Stevens is in the movie, and he plays kind of this really cartoony villain. He's hamming it up all over the place. Karen Gillan is in the movie. Omar Sy is in the movie, as I previously mentioned. And, he's good while he's in the movie. It's just that there's not much to his character because the movie doesn't really explore his character. It doesn't bother to flesh him out or any of the human characters, really. Except for maybe Harrison Ford. Maybe there's a little bit of nuance to his character. We do see some backstory, and you know, a little bit of understanding as to why he is the way he is. That said, his character really isn't fully developed because his character isn't in the movie for the entire runtime. His character pretty much comes in midway through the movie and then serves as Buck's owner for the duration of the film. So it was a little bit weird in that sense because as I was watching the movie, I kind of found myself wondering, okay, when is Harrison Ford gonna adopt Buck? And when it finally happened, I was kind of like, oh, okay, so here we go. And overall, this is a short movie, but you know what? Visual effects, pretty solid. Solid performances, even though the character is very thinly drawn. And if you're a dog lover, you're going to like the movie. It's entertaining, it's wholesome, it's inspiring, and it's kind of the movie that we need to watch right now, given the circumstances. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, if you want to, if you have the money, if you have the time, which I'm going to assume that you do, give Call of the Wild a watch. I recommend it, especially if you have a dog, especially if you love dogs. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cheer for the dog. It's very wholesome. So I recommend the movie because it's just a good movie for dog owners. I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy. Wash your hands, please. And may your heart be your guiding key. I will see you next time, where I will have a very interesting video. It is very, very original, to say the least. It's something that I promise you nobody will expect me to discuss this particular topic. But it is related to film and television, so it's well within the confines of this channel. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, and may your heart be your guiding key. Once again, good night.